Back in the year -41, a caveman named Girk discovered the first lens ever. It was a prime lens. And some years later, his brother, Fliff, invented a zoom lens. He was like, look, I can walk around, I get one shot, I zoom in, I get another. But Girk was like, but my image looks better no matter what you do. It's a prime. And Girk killed Fliff. And here we are, still having this discussion. What's better, prime or zoom? Let's talk.
All I want is the perfect camera. All I want is the perfect camera.
So as you know from the last video, I showed you how I set up my shot. This is that shot, and we're doing that video now. Prime versus zoom. I got a bunch of wildlife footage that I will overlay with a zoom lens, unfortunately, because Sony doesn't like primes, only the professional ones. 600mm Tony 4. Like, that's not even an option for anyone. That's like, oh, how much? $20,000. I'm squirrel footage here. $20,000 for squirrel. I could buy a squirrel hotel and live in it myself for that kind of money. So no. But Nikon seems to be doing some prime. So the age-old debate, prime versus zoom, let us have the discussion. In my opinion, if the image quality is your most important factor, a prime is your answer always. You get the 3D pop, it's sharper, you get more background blur, everything about it is just better. There's zero reason to pick a zoom for the look. You're pretty much never gonna find a superior zoom lens to the best prime. You get this Voigtlander 58mm Tony 1.4. If I switch to a zoom, it would be worse. So for me, as a YouTube scrub who's just filming himself, why on earth would I ever get a zoom? Like, most YouTubers, they have their 16 to 35 type of lens, 2.8 G Master or the 15 to 35 Canon, and they're like, yes, and they do their ultra wide shot, and then sometimes they zoom in, and it's like, oh, I changed it so much. It really is the dumbest lens ever invented. For YouTubers, what is the point? If you're vlogging, you're at 16mm, okay, there's your shot. You could zoom it into 20 for a slightly different look. Nobody cared. It's the same basic thing. Your arm's length, you're a dork. And then if you want to zoom in to 35 for some compression, now your audio is shit. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, if I was having a zoom lens right now and I went ultra wide, I'd have to move this mic setup and this little tube light, and everything would suck. And if I was using like a shotgun mic on the camera, backing away to 35mm, so like zooms for YouTube, dumb. Which is why I never focus on them, because all I care about is 3D pop. And that's a prime thing. So like, what zoom could ever win me over? None. Apparently Sony is releasing a 24 to 70 Tony 2, and this is a WOW lens for some reason. That Alpha Rumors dick has been teasing this WOW product for years. It's like, wait till you hear this one. It was the most underwhelming release I've ever. Who cares, man? The Canon, that thing, 28 to 70, okay, you're wider now. About the same weight, probably. Super expensive. Zero 3D pop. Just sharp. Oh, sharp corner to corner. Heavy, expensive. For what? Guarantee you, at any focal length, you have your 24mm Tony 2. My baddest 25mm Tony 2 will crush you. It'll look much better. More 3D pop, more character, warm, huey glow. And then you zoom into 70 or even 50. Oh, 50mm Tony 2. My Zeiss 55mm 1.8 destroys your life. 70? Come on now. I'll just get my 85mm Tony 1.2 prime. So like, yes, I have 3 lenses. If I was out in the field and I'm walking around, I'm taking shots, okay, I see you. I'm not saying zooms don't have a place. It's just not my place. It's a photography thing where you bring one lens out and you're taking pictures for some reason. You're freezing time, and you're just like, you're getting a varied, wide range of shots. 24 ultra wide of this building. I zoomed in. Oh, look at the details of the corner of the building. It's fucking bricks. Like, move on. The shot isn't dramatic enough. I will now move closer to the lens. Zooming, some might say. My God. Totally worth it. Totally worth it. So that 24-70 Tony 2, wow. Thank you for nothing. If it was a 16-35 Tony 2, would I even care? I don't know, man. Part of me wants a zoom in here, and those 16-35s, they're fun, but the audio, unless you're a lav mic guy, then your audio is screwed and your lighting gets worse. When you back away, as you noticed when I came forth, I had to lower the lighting. I'm too close to it now. So it's like, it doesn't work in a YouTuber's life unless you're auto-exposing and doing... I'm manual. I'm a professional. I'm blurred background here. I'm a movie. You know that. On the other hand, I totally understand you photographers who want a varied shot. In fact, some of you even go for the super zoom. That's like a freaking 24-200 type of thing. And then it's all encompassing, even though every shot you ever take will be deleted by the Pentagon. As soon as they see it, they'll be like, there's no information here. We can't read the depth. We can't track people and control their lives and shut off their bank accounts when they say bad things on social media. It'll be bad. But like that Panasonic 28-200, it's probably a fun-ass thing. Just one lens is pretty light, and every shot imaginable to you is there. I get it, but it's a compromise in every way. That one shot taken with the prime would look much better. Whenever I go out for like slow motion street videography, the prime's gonna look so much better than any zoom. So it's like Zeiss 55 1.8. It's like magic. Like that's a magical moment we're witnessing. Or the Zeiss 35, whatever you got, or 135. Imagine that. I don't even have it yet. So when I go out and I'm shooting people, I have my basically almost a portrait lens, the Zeiss 55mm. That's my go-to right now. And it's like, I know every shot I get is going to be fantastic. I don't care to zoom. I'm zooming with a skateboard. That's my zoom lens. It's got a remote. I can totally understand the mindset of a photographer who wants to leave the house with one zoom range. It's one lens. He's not going to change lenses in the field. I hate doing that myself. And so like, I get you. But me? No. I want the ultimate. Always. Now when it comes to wildlife, zoom versus prime, the conversation changes a bit, because in your regular day-to-day life, if you have a 50mm prime, it's not hard to find your subject. You just point it in the general direction. Oh, there she is. Boom. Take a shot. Whereas wildlife, if you're at like 800mm, I'm at 920 or something on my Sony with the teleconverter. And if you just have it there and you point it at a bird, it can be hard to find that bird. In fact, I was just having this moment where there was this red squirrel and I could not line it up, because here's the hack. If you're handheld, if you look at the top of your lens hood and point it at the bird or squirrel and then go to the viewfinder, it's likely going to be there. And if it's not, you know it's slightly lower or higher. Just point it right in the middle of the top of the lens hood and then boom, and then you look. When I was trying to do that with the squirrel, I was at a railing and I was like, well, it would be much more stable if I could balance it on this railing. So the angle was off and I could not line it up for the life of me. And so I zoomed back out. I was like, oh, there he is. Zoomed back in and he ran before I could actually... It was like an hour and a half, that whole sequence I just explained. So like I missed the shot. But in general, if it's just handheld, you can totally get the shot on an 800mm prime. It's not that hard. It does help to zoom out and find it if you're struggling, but it's pretty much easy, somewhat. And it's worth it for the image quality increase. I can't wait for an 800mm prime. Either Nikon releases a nicer body than the Sony a7S III, or the Sony releases a nicer lens, 800mm prime, than the Nikon. Either one, I'm happy. I'm ready to go. It's funny, all the wildlife professionals use primes, the expensive ones too. And then all the professional everything else seems to use the zoom. Like if you have a little documentary show, the zooms usually have stabe. So it's like all the embedded series that I watch for the UFC fights leading up to a pay-per-view, they do like a daily vlog around the fighters. That's always done. You can tell they have a stabilized lens on there. So it's like, and they zoom sometimes. So it's like a 24-70 2.8. It's like, okay. So for them, will this Sony 24-70 be stabilized? We know it won't. Sony never stabilizes anything. They think their IBIS actually works. It doesn't at all. So like, whatever, but like, it's a good shot for something like that. You're filming a show. I understand there's a place. For me personally, I'm very happy with just, I don't own a zoom. Not one zoom in here. Everything is primes. For Sony, it's just like every focal length you could imagine in a prime. And so for me, I don't mind the slower pace where I just pick my lens and go. If I'm vlogging, it's like, okay, 18, maybe 24, let's go. And when it comes to my favorite focal lengths, I think 50 is my preferred. I do like 85. 24 can be fun, but it's a bit much. But if you're just there, your camera's on a desk, you're close, and you have an actual nice scene back here, then 24 can be cool. 35's okay. I think I like it more than 24, but less than 50. Like anywhere 35 to 85 for YouTube scrubs with professional movie dignity, then you're pretty good to go. And then you get your wildlife prime, hopefully, but not a lot of companies actually have one. If I was in Canon, I would probably get that 800mm Tony 11 prime, maybe. I don't know. I've tried it. I don't remember it being very good or stable. Autofocus in a tiny square box. But it would hold me by. It's cheap, but I don't think there's any real debate. If you want the best image quality, it's a prime. And if you have IBIS in your camera, then boom, you have stabilized every prime on Earth. Whereas if you don't, you might want a stabilized zoom. There's stabilized primes, but they're kind of rare. And Canon R8 digital stabe is fantastic. Whenever I vlog, it's just digital stabe. It's almost GoPro-like. So it's totally good enough for vlogging. Just wildlife might be a little shaky. I've never tried it. But primes are more exciting. Everything about them is better. Zoom could be fun and more versatile. Go screw yourself. And you have fun with that choice. What do you think? Zoom or prime? Post it down below. If I hear one photographer down there, the fists of overexposed fury will come to you. Primes all the way. There will be affiliate links for only primes down there. How you doing? The shot has been Voigtlanded. I was not in focus for most of it, but I could be now. There's zebras on my head. I'll leave. Subscribing for more videos. I'll see you next.